Hello, hi guys. Good morning, everyone. Hello, all. Hello, am I audible? Is my voice reaching to everyone? Can I get the quick responses, please? Hi, Sahan. Okay, thank you. Hi, Mahesh. Good morning. Okay, all right. Fine, guys. So today we'll start from what is ADF. Okay, what is ADF? ADF stands for Azure Data Factory, guys. ADF stands for Azure Data Factory. Okay, this is ADF. Okay, fine. So what it is, ADF is a fully managed serverless data integration solution for ingesting, preparing, and transforming all our data at scale. So it's a serverless data integration solution. Serverless data integration solution means, guys, we are not having any kind of server when we are deploying an ADF. ADF is offered as a inbuilt service. ADF is offered as inbuilt service in our cloud computing platform, and we use this platform for ingesting or inserting the data. Okay, ingesting or inserting, okay, the data, or preparing the data and transforming at all, okay, different scale. Okay, whatever it is, if the data is of 1 GB, if the data is of 10 GB, if the data is of 1 TB, whatever it is. Okay, if it is terabyte, exabyte, yottabyte, zettabyte, whatever it is, we can fetch the data, we can process the data, we can transform, and then we can load the data also. Okay, all the things we can do. When compared to other ETL tools, okay, when compared to other ETL tools like SSIS, Informatica, Data Stage, Talent, okay, there are many ETL tools in the current market, but in these tools we have set up everything like infrastructure, cost, performance, productivity, security, and compare all these parameters. ADF is much more efficient than these tools, and ADF is fully managed by Microsoft. So what I'm saying here, compared to all other tools, see, past from 25-30 years, we were using many tools to do this data transformations, data loading, data processing, correct or not? And there also we need a lot of things, right? We need to take care of cost, we need to take care of performance, we need to take care of productivity, security, okay, compatibility, reliability, etc., etc. But now, compared to all those tools with different technologies, like, SSIS is from MS Microsoft, and Informatica is an open source tool. We are having Data Stage, we are having Oracle BI, right? And then we are having multiple options that we can use here to do the ETL is what? Extract, transform, and load. Now, the one ADF is replaceable for all these tools now. Okay, that is what it is saying. We need not to worry about underlying infrastructure, cost, performance, security, etc. Everything will be taken care by Microsoft for ingesting and loading the data. Okay, we were doing some SQL queries for doing the transformation, but from 2019 onwards, we have a mapping data flow came into picture. There we need, or we can do all kind of information transformations easily without writing the code in ADF, without writing the code in ADF. Okay, not much. We are just writing a small expressions, that's it, guys. Rest of the things will be taken care. Okay, we can do many things in ADF, like, we can simplify two main tasks, we can copy the data, we can transform the data, and like this kind of task can be automated and scheduled in ADF also. Okay, in ADF, see how it is happening. See, let us take here we are having some database. This is on-prem database, and from what we can do here, we can pull the data, okay, to ADF pipeline, and in this ADF pipeline we can process the data again, and then we can store in the Azure storage services. Once we store this in Azure storage services, then we can push this data. We can get this data basically from Azure storage services. Okay, means transforming, and once the data is transformed, then we can load the data into our destination databases. Okay, this activity is called data copy, and this activity is called data transformation. Okay, and once the data is in our destination database, see, your destination could be anything here. Your destination could be, okay, like in storage. Okay, you can finally load your data into storage account as destination. You can load your data into SQL database as destination. You can load your data into like .csv file as a destination, or into multiple tables of SQL database, or you can store as destination into other different formats like Excel, Parquet, etc. etc. A variety of different things that you can load into your destination. Same source is also like that. You can pull the data from variety of different sources, and you can load the data into variety of different destinations using Azure Data Factory. There are many things. There are many things which are, work as an inbuilt, okay, resources or inbuilt source and targets for ADF. Okay, in ADF we can fetch the data from variety of different sources. Yeah, see, just now I have told the point is mentioned. In ADF we can fetch the data from variety of different sources. The data could in any size, any format, any shape. We can fetch, extract the data from source, transform, and load into the destinations. Okay, so this is all the theory, guys. This is very simple theory points, theoretical points for your interviews point of view. Okay, please read these theoretical points from your material. Any doubts you can ask me. Simple theoretical points, very knowledgeable bites. Okay, for your interviews point of view to make your fundamentals strong. Read these points at least 2 times, guys. I'm telling. Okay, read the theoretical points. Okay, at least 2 times. Okay, read this at least 2 times carefully, so that you should be knowing the background here. What is this ADF functionality? What is ADF services that we are having in cloud and all? Practically I'll show everything. Practically we'll cover. Now see, process and procedure to load the data from source to target using ADF. Okay, source means what? Source means a place, like where our data is residing, and target is the place where we have to finally load the data into. Okay, so now see here, this is our source system. Okay, this is our source system. Okay, and here we are having multiple files. Okay, 1 2 3 4, and this is our target. This is our target, and we have to load the data, okay, from this source system to this target. This files has to, we have to copy. So simple process is that we have to follow. What is the simple process here? See, first is we have to create a link service. First is what we have to do. We have to create a linked service. What we are doing link service? In link service, we are passing the username and password, okay, to establish a connection. Okay, we are passing the username and password to establish a connection. Second step, we are creating a data set. Okay, data set means what it is. The data is in .csv file. The data is in Excel file. The data is in HTTP, HTTPS somewhere in website. The data is in GitHub. Okay, where the data is, that is our source. We are creating one data set for the source system. Same again, link service here. Okay, for the target. Link service for the source also, we are creating a link service for the source, and link service we are creating for the target also. Here again, same, we are passing the username and password to establish a connection with our target system, and then same data set again where we want to load. I mean, if here the .csv files, we want to load the data same in target in .csv files or somewhere else. Okay. This is what the simple process will follow, guys. See, if you want to move the files, let us take these files 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from my source to target, then we need some compute infrastructure. We need some compute infrastructure, and this compute infrastructure is taken care by integration runtime, and this integration runtime is automatically managed by ADF based upon the data volume which has to move from source to target. See guys, it's pretty obvious that when you're moving the data from your source to target, okay, it won't happen just like that, right? It needs networking, it needs compute, it needs processing, it needs CPU, everything, and all these things are needed. Okay, and this all things will be given by ADF. ADF will manage, ADF will give internally ADF will provide all these things. Okay, fine. Now we are having what? Integration runtime. What is this integration runtime? Integration runtime is providing these things only: compute power, processing power, networking power, networking connection. Okay, and then understanding the source and targets. See, understand the source and target. These are the things for us. Okay, link service, data set, both for source system we have to create. Link service and data set, both for target systems we have to create. Okay, data set, when we are creating, we are making understand ADF that okay, in dataset we are making understand ADF that the source is so and so. It could be Excel, it could be a raw file, it could be Parquet, it could be GitHub, whatever it is. And same target is where finally we are trying to load the data, dump or insert the data. It could be also any uh, source, like it could be also any format. I mean, not source, it could be target, also could be in any format: Excel, CSV, or it could be Azure data storage. Okay, service also depends upon the business requirement, what your client says, where he wants to keep the data, accordingly we'll do it. Okay, lot of labs we are going to do, guys. Okay, it's a first class today for us. Okay, what is integration runtime now? It's basically provides a compute infrastructure. See what it is doing, provides compute infrastructure, and it is used by ADF, and this compute infrastructure is like a network, storage, memory, etc. And all these things can be taken care by integration runtime. By default, we'll have an integration runtime while creating an ADF service. If we want to move the data from cloud to cloud, okay, or want to move the data from public network to cloud, then we cannot install any external integration runtime. By default, we'll have this integration runtime as a feature in our ADF. Okay, Azure Data Factory. Okay, when performing the transformation, means we are performing here like joins, unions, select, okay, where, aggregation, like max, minimum, average, oil, etc. Okay, we can do all this kind of things, okay, from source to target using ADF controls. We'll see practicals also. I'll show when client don't want to load the data as it is. Okay, from source, whatever the data is there at source, client don't want to load the data as it is. They need some transformations to be performed before loading the data in the target. Then these transformations are helpful. Like we are having hell lot of transformations in ADF. Okay, hell lot of transformation in ADF. Like we are having joins, we are having like inner join, left join, outer join, full join. We are having union, we are having union all. Okay, lot of joins are available for us, and we can use all these joins in ADF as a part of inbuilt data flows only, as part of inbuilt data flows only. Okay, ADF is complete ETL, like extract, transform, load. Okay, or extract, load, transfer. It could be, it can do ETL, it can do ELT also. Okay, ETL means what? Extracting the data from source, transforming, preparing the data, and loading the data. That is ETL. What is ELT? ELT is what? Extracting the data from source, loading the data into target, and can do the transformation accordingly as per the businesses. Okay, so That's what I'm saying here. It's a tool in which we can extract, transform, and load the data into destinations. Okay, fine. So building blocks of Azure Data Factory, building blocks of ADF. What is building blocks of ADF here? See, there are four major components that we are having in ADF. On a nutshell, if we see here, we are having link services. Okay, this we are creating. Okay, to establish a connection, to take an authentication and authorization, to connect to the source. Okay, to fetch the data. Also, we are getting these link services in target. Okay, for authentication and authorization, and to dump, to insert the data, okay, to another target, whatever it is. Okay, data sets we are creating here, what the data is in which format, to make understand that we get data set. Activities, there is a lot of activities we are having in ADF. Okay, we are having like data copy activity, metadata activity, filter activity. Okay, like this many activities we are having in ADF, and pipelines also. So all these things, data movement, data pulling, data pushing, data preparing, data transforming, all these things we are doing in the ADF pipelines. We are doing where in Azure Data Factory pipelines. That is what I am saying here. These are the building blocks or major components of ADF. On a very high level, if we say we are having link services, dataset, pipelines, and activities. Okay. See, from here it is going to this one. Okay, activity, then data set, then link services. And activity can also connect with link services as well. Okay. Pipelines in Azure Data Factory. Pipeline is a logical grouping of active. What is pipelines here? I'm explaining. Okay, pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that together perform a task. A data factory can have one or more pipelines. Yes, ADF can have one or more pipelines. The activities we defined in pipelines performs the action on our data. Okay, 40 activities we can define in one pipeline. Oh my God, this is a huge number, I can say. Okay, hardly, in our real-time projects, we use 8 to 10 pipelines or 4 to 5 pipelines. It depends. It depends. Like, I'm not saying like we cannot use more than 8 to 10, or we cannot use more than 4 to 5. Maximum we can use up to 42 activities. 40 activities we can define in pipeline. Activities in pipeline. Okay, the activities in pipeline define actions to perform on our data. ADF supports below types of activities: data movement activities, data transformation activities, and data control activities. These three types of activities that ADF will support. Okay, data set in ADF, link services is what in ADF. This is the example. Okay, this is all the key points, guys. Okay, see what I'm saying? We need contributor access in Azure portal to load the data from source to target with ADF in Azure subscription. If you want to move the data, then there are two ways. Okay, we can connect to the on-premises system, and then we can move the data into the cloud. We can also move the data from cloud to cloud. It might be from AWS, or it might be from public network, all. And for this we can use Azure integration runtime to connect to the source, and then we can transfer the data from one place to another. All these are theoretical points, guys. Please read these theoretical points, and if you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, I'll just try to help you out. Fine. See, this is what it is saying. Azure Data Factory. Here we are having, our Azure Data Factory with all the pipelines. See, this is my pipelines, Azure Data Factory pipelines. Instead of SSIS, we are directly using the Azure Data Factory pipelines. And this is our on-prem, okay, on-prem app and data. Okay, so here we are having like, data in different formats. Like, the data should be in Excel, the data should be in CSV, the data should be in, what I can say. a flat file, just a simple file, text file kind of. Okay, we can get the data. ADF can get the data from here, and ADF can do the integration runtime and can load the data. ADF can load the data. That's what I'm saying here. Okay. So if we don't want to move our data to other region, then here we can create our own integration runtime, and by default we'll have the Azure integration runtime. I'll show this practically, guys. Maybe theoretical when I'm telling it, it is not getting much clear to all of you. Almost same diagram here also. See, first link service, then we are creating data sets. First step, this is first step. See, that's why I have written here one. Okay, one. First step, this is second step. Again, this is link service dataset for source system, link service dataset for target system. Okay, and then in pipelines, this is fifth step, first step, second step, third step, fourth step. This is fifth step. Here we are creating a pipeline, and in this pipeline, we are defining an activities. Okay, what exactly we want to do, and all these things we are doing in ADF only. In ADF only, I'll show practically, that will be more understandable. This is just the theoretical information, the building blocks or the core components of a ADF we are discussing about. Fine. So as shown in the above pic, okay, if my client wants me to schedule or run every day at 4 a.m. IST automation. This is an automation, guys. That client says that you want run the pipelines to copy the data from source to target daily. Okay, at 4 a.m. IST. He doesn't want this to be run manually every time. Instead, it should be scheduled or automate at a specific time. And whatever the new data has been loaded into my source, that should be loaded into my target system using Azure Data Factory services. This can be done with the triggers. Okay, this can be done with triggers. So in order to work on this schedule mechanism, okay, kind automation it is, we have a concept called triggers. In ADF we have different types of triggers. What is that? They have schedule triggers, tumbling windows trigger, and event based trigger. Multiple triggers. Okay, multiple triggers will perform multiple activities. We want to schedule our pipeline with a future date and time, then we generally use this schedule trigger. Okay, all this is theoretical information, guys. This is all the theoretical information. Please read this. Integration runtimes also we are having three types. There are three different types of integration runtime available. That is Azure integration runtime, Azure SSIR, okay, and self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, all these I have given when we are using Azure integration runtime, when this one we are using, and this self-hosted integration runtime. Compute infrastructure, when we want to move data from source to target, then the compute infrastructure is needed for ADF to move the data from one place to another. Okay, self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, I've given the definition here. If the data is in on-premises and hosted on a private network, and when we have to connect to their network, then in this case we use the self-hosted integration runtime, and it is a secure network. And when we want to connect to that secure system and need to move the data to the target, okay, then like data lake storage, whatever your target is, hence when we want to move the data from on-prem to cloud, then we can use the self-hosted integration runtime or self-hosted agent. Okay, relationship between ADF components same, but the main components of ADF or building blocks of ADF is this one: link services, data set, okay, pipelines, activity. Okay, link services you can define both for source and targets, data set both for source and targets. Okay, pipelines, that is part of ADF. You can create multiple pipelines, tens and hundreds of pipelines you can create in ADF. But remember, every pipeline you design, and after you are creating pipelines in ADF, you have to keep the control or activities. Okay, control or activities, whatever you want, you can say. Then that will be keep charging you. That will keep charging you. Okay, this is the activities that we are going to do. And this is the diagram that I'm having. Triggers. Okay, what is trigger? Triggers are used to schedule execution of pipelines. To execute the pipeline automatically, we'll use the triggers. Pipelines and triggers have many to many relationship. Okay, means what? One trigger can run many pipelines or one pipeline. Example, multiple triggers can kick off a single pipeline, or single trigger can kick off a multiple pipelines. Okay, when to use ADF? Okay, please read this theoretical information, guys. See, full theory. I have given lot of theory here as in the in the form of a points here. Okay, why to use ADF? Okay, this is when to use ADF. Okay, and this is why to use ADF. Okay, the benefits of ADF is like, it is cost effective. Okay, it is cost effective. It could be scale, cloud scale. See, the good point here is, see, ADF is serverless and the billing is based on the factors such as the number of activities run, the data movement duration. If we run our ETL or ELT pipeline hourly, which also involve data movement, assuming 100 GB data movement per hour. Just assume that we are moving 100 GB data per hour, which should take around 8 minutes with 200 Mbps, okay, bandwidth, okay, to process 100 GB data, to copy the data from source to target of 100 GB, and which is taking approximately 8 minutes of time, okay, with 200 Mbps bandwidth, then ADF will bill us not more than $12 for monthly execution. See, it is very cheap. It is very cheap. It is not making even $12 for us. Okay, for even 100 GB data to copy from source to target. It is very much cost effective compared to other ETL tools. IS, SSIS you take, Oracle BI you take, Informatica you take, Data Stage you take, whatever it is, blah blah. Okay, cloud scale. Okay, enterprise grade security. It is having a great security also. Okay, and ADF cloud scale is what ADS is being offered as PaaS, not IaaS. ADS is offered as PaaS. The beauty of PaaS is what? If you guys remember in the very beginning classes, maybe in first or second class, I have told, right? PaaS is a platform as service in which many of the things will be taken care by your cloud vendor, by your cloud platform. Okay, so ADF is being offered as PaaS, okay, and can quickly scale if needed. For the big data movement with data sizes from terabytes to petabytes, we will need the scale of multiple nodes to chunk data in parallel. Okay. So lot of data we can process, we can transform, we can load into the different destinations in parallel. Enterprise grade security, high performance, hybrid connectivity, easy interaction, visual UI authoring and monitoring tool. Okay, in ADF or ADF we can design with the help of a UI, graphical user interface. Okay, user interface or graphical user interface. Okay, with the help of a mouse only we can design the complete ADF pipelines, ADF activities, ADF linked services, ADF data set. Okay, ADF, many things we can do with the help of mouse only. There is no need for you to write the code. Okay, not absolutely not required. Okay, schedule, yeah, small expressions we have to write to load the data into the destinations based upon the business requirement, depends upon the business requirement. Okay, schedule pipeline execution. Okay, every business have different latency requirements, and jobs can be scheduled as per the business requirements. Multiple jobs is what, guys, which will run automatically the ADF pipelines and which will load the data into our destination, okay, at a defined time, at a particular frequency, whatever we want, with the help of the triggers. Okay, complete data flow end to end with ADF process. So see here we are having data. Okay, the data could be in on-premises data, okay, or Oracle or SQL. It could be in any, or cloud data also could be in cloud, like Azure storage services. We have done this many, or it could be in SaaS. Okay, somewhere like in uh, CRM, Microsoft Dynamics, etc. ADF is having a capability to pull the data from variety of different sources. Okay, then Azure Blob Storage. Okay, the data we can keep it in Azure Blob Storage, and from here we can make it to Azure SQL Data Warehouse. Then from here Azure Analytics. See, up to here, up to Azure Blob Storage or Data Lake Storage. Okay, data lake storage or blob storage we can do, and once the data is available in our blob storage, Then from here, Azure SQL data warehouse, this will be taken care by your data engineers. And then, representing the data in Azure's analytics services. Okay, and different Power BI applications. We are having Power BI, Power Apps, okay, and Tableau. We are having these days lot of IoT services also to represent the data, to make the dashboards, or even we are having these days a lot of AI tools. We are having chatbot, okay, like AI, Chat GPT. We are having variety of different AI tools. We are having these days. The prompt engineers, okay, are using to represent the data in a variety of different dashboards accordingly as per the business requirement. It could be anything, guys. Let us take for an example. There is one big showroom, okay, which is like 25 years old. Example, let us take Bajaj Electronics. Bajaj Electronics is very common in our Telangana. Right. So let us take Bajaj Electronics is 25 years old. Now Bajaj Electronics wants to see, okay, last last 5 years, how is the sales? Okay, how sales gone? Like it grows up, it grows down. Okay, and which particular products sales goes down? Okay, like, example, refrigerators. Refrigerator sales are going down. In which place? Like we are having in Telangana, Karimnagar, Nizamabad, Hyderabad, Zahirabad, okay, Shamshabad, kind of stuff, whatever it is. Which refrigerator sale, which product sales goes down? Why it goes down? Okay, going, if any product is going on high demand, high value, what is that product? What is such features available? Like variety of different kinds of dashboards we can prepare once the data is being ready by the Azure data engineers. Okay, fine. Data flow. Okay, here we are having data flow, Azure integration runtime. All patching, scaling, and maintenance of the underlying infrastructure are managed by Microsoft, and the integration runtime can only access the data stores and services in public network. Self-hosted integration runtime, Azure SSIS integration runtime. Lot of theoretical information, guys. Mapping data flow for transformation and aggregations. General purpose, memory optimize. Okay, compute optimize, schedule and monitor. These are all what mapping data flows are visually designed data transformation in Azure Data Factory. It allows data engineers to develop data transformation logic without writing code. The resulting data flows are executed as activities with ADF pipelines and that use scaled out Apache Spark cluster. Okay, there are three different clusters types available in mapping data flows. Okay, that is general purpose, memory optimized, and compute optimized. Schedule and monitor. If you want to schedule your pipelines, okay, you can schedule the triggers, then automatically it will get scheduled and it will get triggered also. Fine. Implementation steps to create and deploy an ADF. Okay, implementation steps to create and deploy an ADF. Here, from here, we are starting the practicals. From here, we are starting the practicals. So this is all theory, guys. This is all theory. Okay, read this knowledge. It will be a great knowledge for you. And please remember this in your head, because in the interviews they would be asking this lot of things. Okay, from here to here now, guys. From here to here, you could be getting a lot of interview questions in from this theory. From this theory, you could be getting a lot of interview questions. So please prepare well, read it and keep it in your head. Up to here, I'm telling. Lot of interview questions you could be expecting here. Okay, so read and keep in your head. This is the complete theory. Okay, fine. And from here, we are starting the implementations or practicals. Okay, what it is saying, create a resource group, search for data factory in Azure portal, create and fill the below details. Okay, subscription. Okay, data factory we are creating, resource group, any sub resource group you can give any. Okay, I'll show practical. I'll show practical. No need to worry. Okay, so I'll come to the Azure portal here. Okay, I'll say here portal.azure.com. I'll say here, make a login with this user account, user ID and password. Okay, resource group is there for me. This resource group only I'll take. What I'll do, I'll search here for ADF. I'll say here ADF. Okay, it is not recognizing. Then say here data factory. Data factory. See, we got it here. Data factories. Okay, or else you can search here Azure ADF also if you want. Okay, is it coming? No, it's not coming with the. Yeah, it came, it came. See, data factories. Data factories. Just click on this one, then click on create. It's pretty obvious that for everything, whatever we are creating, we are always clicking on plus create to create a new service. So I'm creating a data factory now. I'll say here resource group. Okay, I'll take this resource group. I'll give the name for my data factory now. I'll say here Naresh ADF. I'm giving name as a Naresh Azure Data Factory. Okay, so name is already taken. This is the problem. It is saying that this name is already taken. Yes, I have done lot of labs, guys. I have done lot of POCs in ADF. Okay, no doubt. You also going to be create ADF many times as part of your practice. Okay, so the number of times you practice, that much knowledgeable and perfect you become. I am telling you. Please keep in mind. Fine. I'm saying here 1978. Something unique name I'm giving. Okay, I'm saying here Naresh ADF 1978. Now it has accepted. Where you want to create, pass that region here. I'll go with East US. Fine. Version, I'm having only version 2. Version 1 was there for ADF. That is deprecated now. That straightforward, we are having version 2 for ADF. Next, click on next here, configuration. Okay. So what is saying? Azure Data Factory allows you to configure Git repository. We are going to do this also, GitHub. Okay, Git repository with either Azure DevOps or GitHub. Git is a version control system that allows for easier change tracking and collaboration. We are going to do labs, guys. We are going to do labs with GitHub and Azure DevOps with ADF. No need to worry. Okay, if it is there, then you can pass your Azure DevOps account, project name, repo name, branch, etc. This I'll show definitely. If you want to go with DevOps, then you can choose this one. Else you can say here GitHub. Here GitHub details you have to pass. I'll show this also. As of now, this is a first demo for us for ADF. So I'll just say here configure Git later. I'm saying here I'll configure this later. Later I'll show for sure, no problem. Next, networking. Okay, enable manage virtual network on the default auto resolve integration runtime. Okay, if you check this one, it is acceptable. Then self-hosted integration runtime, inbound connectivity to Azure Data Factory. You want public endpoint or private endpoint? What you want? I'll say here public endpoint. As of now, I want to connect with public endpoint. Private endpoint means again, you have to create your own private endpoint, and then you have to define your subnet range. Then only the people can access your ADF services. Else, no. I'm going with public endpoint. Okay, I'll say here next. Advanced enable encryption using a customer managed key. Encryption we are having for every service, guys. We have seen for Azure storage services also, that we can do encryption for page blob and container storage or file share storage, or we want to do encryption for all the 4 storage services. Okay, how we want that, we have seen in our Azure storage services. Encryption is very common thing that we will get an option to encrypt it by our side if we want. Else we can set Azure, Microsoft Azure cloud computing to set it. So I'm saying here enable encryption using customer managed key. No, I'm not saying here customer means we, the one who are using, that is customer. So if I'll say this one, then it will be asking me to pass the details. I'm leaving it to Microsoft Azure cloud computing to do the encryption for my Azure Data Factory. Next here, tags. Tags is the common parameter that we'll see for every service that what we are creating. Pass the tags here. Next, say here review plus create. Okay, if you skip tags also, it doesn't matter, guys. Okay, I'm saying here now for the validation to be performed. Let us see whether the validation will get performed or not. The same thing I have mentioned here in the material also, guys. See, like when we are creating here, see, subscription, any subscription you can pass here, like whatever is your subscription name, mostly it will be free trial only. Resource group name, any resource group name you can pass. Any name to your ADF you can pass. Any region you can set. Any version is version 2 only. Click on next, git configuration, check the box. Okay, check the box, git later. Click on networking. Next, click on next, advanced. Next tag, next review plus create. Wait for some 5 to 10 minutes until the ADF gets deployed. Okay, see, validation is completed now. All validation gets succeeded. That's why this create button is enabled for me. The create button is enabled for me. Click on create. Okay, so now what it is doing, it is creating ADF now. It is creating ADF. Um, See now the ADF got deployed here. Okay, ADF is completed. Now either you can click here to go to the ADF, else go to home. Okay, go to data factories, and then see here you are finding one data factory. You're finding here one Azure data factory in this location, in this resource group, in this subscription, and the type of this resource is data factory. The name of this resource is Naresh ADF 1978. Some number I have given just randomly. Click on this one. Okay. Now say here launch studios. This is Azure Data Factory Studio. Just click here on launch. That is what I have mentioned here. See what I have mentioned. After ADF gets deployed, click on launch studios. You will find here launch studios here in the center, launch studio. Okay. Then we'll navigate to a new page wherein we can see all the features of ADF studios like home, author, monitor, manage, learning. Okay, I'll just first launch. After clicking on launch, it will be navigating you to different page. See, this is one page. Once I click on launch, it has navigated me to this page, and here now it is opening the Azure Data Factory. It is loading. See, loading Azure Data Factory. Hold on for some 1 minute. Okay, let it get loaded fully, completely. Let it get opened. Fine. Now see, if you notice here, after ADF got launched, here our ADF name, and here we are having lot of features on the left hand side. This is home, this is author, monitor, okay, manage, learning center. Okay, I think this we won't use learning center. The people who are really like do a lot of R&D, lot of learning, this feature will be helpful for them, else these features will be help a lot. Okay, so that is what I have mentioned here in the material also. See, home, author, monitor. See what I'm saying. After ADF gets deployed, click on launch studio. Then we'll navigate to a new page wherein we can see all the features of ADF studios, like home. This is the home. Next, author. Okay, next I'm saying here author. Here we are finding the author. Okay, this complete picture has to be there in your head. In interviews, they will ask you, draw the architecture diagram, or what are the main architectural components of ADF. Okay, architecture components of ADF. In that case, you have to keep all these things, remember guys. Okay, author, okay, monitor, okay, manage, Okay, this one updates. If there is any updates happening in your ADF, then the updates will be seen here. See, lot of features it is available. Release notes and updates. Manage private endpoints now supports. Application gateway and MySQL flexible server. Lot of things, guys. Okay, in lifetime also we won't use all these things. As per the project scope, we'll use. See, lot of things are there. These are the articles. If you want, you can click and you can explore much more. Okay, this is what switch data factory. If you're having multiple ADFs, you have created multiple ADFs like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is, then even that is also possible that you can create a okay multiple ADFs and then you can switch over from one ADF to another. That is what it is saying here like this. Notifications. Whatever you are doing in your ADF, that all notifications you will get it here. Here you can use for this one to switch. See Azure Active Directory. This is your subscription. This is your ADF name. So this is my ADF. As of now, I'm having only one. If you're having 10, then all will be listed here. Just click on it and then say here, okay. What will happen? You will navigate one ADF to another. Okay, fine. Then notification, what all the activities you are doing in ADF. You are, you are debugging, you are, what I can say, you are adding the controls and activities, you are creating pipelines, you are defining the pipeline names, these are blah, 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 blah. All activities, I'll show practically when we start to full-fledged activities will come here, top up one by one, we'll get to see. Settings. Okay, this is common features, guys, that we are having these features for our Azure portal also. See, this is our Azure portal features. Okay, we are having notifications here also. We are having settings here also. We are having this one to navigate. Okay, multiple directories. This is Cloud Shell, etc. Similar, 90% same here it is. And this is like help, kind of help related to your ADF guide if you need, or any documentation related to any topics of ADF, question and answers on ADF. Okay, keyboard shortcuts, lot of things is there, guys. Then just we need to have a patience to explore all these things. Fine. This is the architectural components of ADF. This also we'll see. Okay. So the all things I have defined here in the material. Okay, networking left side under ADF. Okay, here we are having public endpoints and private endpoint and securely connect to the data source. Securely we can connect to the data source. We use the private endpoint, public endpoint in the sense on the internet everyone can be able to access our storage account, data lake storage. Theoretical information, guys, full theory here. Please read this theory. We have seen today just how we can deploy the ADF. Very simple. Deploying an ADF is not a big deal. Okay, fine. So this is the complete theory. There is no restriction to load the data into storage account. We can load even 100 GB, 200 GB, 1 TB, 5 TB, etc. No limit as such. You can load as much as data you want using ADF. Okay, create data lake storage Gen 2. Okay, storage account. And while creating a storage account in advanced tab under data lake storage Gen 2, check the checkbox for enable hierarchical namespace. This I have explained. This I have explained. This is okay. Theoretical points only. Read these theoretical points, guys. Okay. Just this is the lab we have seen to create an ADF. Okay. Fine. Here up to here, this is all theoretical point again. Okay. ADL, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Azure Data Lake Gen 2 has a great security when compared to blob storage service. I have given some comparisons here between the Gen 2 storage account and blob storage account. Okay, some knowledge bites I can say. Okay, and here we have just done the deployment of ADF in these three steps. Again, some knowledgeable points I have given here. And here I am starting the labs. Implementation steps for copying the data from blob storage to ADL Gen 2 using ADF. Yeah. From here onwards, what we are doing after ADF has been launched. Inside the ADF, okay. Now inside the ADF, how we can do the labs to how we can start the process to copy the data. So just double click on this document. Here I'm having step C, implementation steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 5, 6, okay, 7, 8. Oh my God. Okay, hence we have copied the data from blob storage account to ADL Gen 2 storage account using ADF only. Okay, so I'll just stop the class here, guys. Tomorrow we'll start the practicals. Implementation steps, we'll start the labs from here tomorrow from page number 44. This is also a lab. This is also a lab. From here onwards, we are having all labs only. This is the second lab. Labs are very big. ADF labs are very, very big. Implementation steps to perform metadata activity in Azure Data Factory. Okay, fine. All these are labs only, guys. So I'll just stop the class here. Okay, from tomorrow, we'll start it freshly, the labs. Today we have seen, okay, many theoretical points or knowledge bites or, lot of interview question and answers that could be coming in from this theory that we have just discussed. And we have deployed the ADF today. Just we have deployed the ADF. Inside ADF there is hell lot of labs that we can do, that we will do, that all will start from the basic from tomorrow. Basic labs is also good, actually very big only in ADF. Advanced lab is okay, little bit much more bigger and complex. But if you do the practice, guys, then it will be easy for you, I'm telling. Okay, start the practice when you're having a free time, and your practice will makes you little bit confident, and able to take up the interviews and all right, fine, guys. So I'll just stop the class here, and in tomorrow's class I'll just start from here. Okay, labs, full labs of ADF. All right. Our ADL Gen 2 storage account are generating structured data? No. This storage account is just keeping the data, okay, in your cloud computing platform. Okay, fine. Both storage accounts we are having, blob storage account and ADL Gen 2 storage account. This storage account also we have deployed in our last classes. Please see the recordings in detail. I have explained, and here also I have given a lot of good points. Okay, making a comparison between these two storage accounts, blob storage account and Gen 2 storage account. What is the difference? How we are creating? Okay, how we can recognize which storage account is what and all. Okay, previously also I have shown full-fledged practicals for on this concept, and here I have given theoretical points also. Read these points, guys. It will make you understand. Do the labs and read the points. Don't just read the theory. It won't help you. Don't just read the theory, it won't help you. Do the labs and then read the theory. That will try to relate you with the subject, that will try to make you understand the technology what it is. Just reading the theory, no, it won't help you out. Or if you do only the labs, no theory, then you cannot pass the interview. I'm telling you, both are important. Both are important. Theory plus practical. Fine. All right, guys. So we'll start it here from tomorrow from page number 44. Okay. It was nice talking to all of you. Okay. If there is any question as such, okay, let me know. Okay, before I close the class. Okay. Okay. Sure, sure, sure. Hold on, hold on. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, I'll come here and I'll share the material link. 1 minute, hold on. Azure fundamentals you are saying, right? Okay, I'm uploading here. 1 minute. Okay. Hmm. Please go ahead on this link, and you will find the Azure AZ 900 fundamental dumps. Okay, Mahesh is that Divakar. Okay, Divakar. See, this is the dumps. Is in 900 dumps. Right click and say download. Okay. Whoever is interested for these dumps, you may please download. I have shared with everyone. It's a, it's a universal download. Anyone can download it. Okay. All right, guys. Fine. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll connect again tomorrow and we'll start the ADF labs. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Have a nice day. Take care.